Let him go second. No one coming, off we go. Another lovely day, weather-wise, driving-wise. It's never a lovely day down this part of the world. Slight change of plan. We are going to check out La Boca, the place where I stayed when I was in Cannes last time, see if it's open for general admission. A couple of us have our doubts whether it is or not. Failing that, we're then going to relocate to another services closer to the junction that we ultimately want to come off at. They don't want all three of us today, they only want one of us and then two of us tomorrow. So I don't know if we're definitely going to do it. There is talk of parking up wherever we get parked to in a moment, and then a couple of guys dropping their trailers and running solo and doing a recce run. So it's a hell of a lot easier to get a solo tractor unit in and out of places than it is a truck and trailer. So just to make sure the route is all good. Here we go. Let's have a little look-see in town. Let's see if we can park at La Boca on an off day. I highly doubt it. I will be surprised. Parking for trucks where? Down there? I'll have to have a little bit of a look on Google later then. Oh yes, the narrow streets of the French Riviera. It all comes flashing back to me now. Here we are then, let's have a look. Nope, gate shut. Motorcycle training only. Didn't think it would be open. Plan B it is then. Les Services. And there's a car parked in front of it for good measure. See what the plan's going to be. Throw a Yui, head back to the motorway, carry on round past our junction that we want, past the services, spin it back round and park in the services facing in the direction we want to go. We were hoping to be able to drop the trailers on site. I'm not sure if that is possible or not. The problem is, around this part of the world, there are not many places to park a truck and trailer. There's a handful. Now we're looking at a side. Ooh, very busy. That's not good. There's the very next junction. Pull off. Spin it around. Looking at the map before we set off, it should be a roundabout. Nice and easy. Turn around, back on. And away we go. Person struggling to pay. We'll sneak past him. Off we come here then. See if there are any spaces. It didn't look particularly like there was, if at all. It's only 11:30 at the minute, so in theory a lot of these people should be just here on their 45s. So a space should become available at some point. A trailer with no one on it. No spaces anywhere. Park up along here then. wait for one to become available. Right, a space has become available next to my co-driver. So I'm going to see if I can get out of here, reverse back and get into that space. Okay.
Yeah, go on, chase it off and you'll be good.
Lovely, that will do. So the plan, guy in front is going to tip today, the rest of us tipping tomorrow morning. The guy right of me is going to drop his trailer and run solo in front and lead the way, because the solo tractor unit is a bit more manoeuvrable, so he's going to path find and make sure it's all good, and just see what the parking situation is like. Can we all get up there, can we not? And then I'm just going to now sit here next to this trailer and keep an eye on it and make sure no one steals it, essentially. And that is my job this afternoon. Just had a message on the group chat. He's made it to the gate, so it is possible to get a truck down there. Have to see later if he made it round the tight corner or not, or if they had to go round the one-way system the wrong way. But I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. According to the Freight 44 guys, they've had a couple of people go round last night, open up their trailers. They're empty at the minute, though, so they're not locked, but if they're checking back of the trucks, there's nothing stopping them checking the diesel tanks. So I've just been sent a video by Lee. The immediate scenery surrounding it looks lovely. It's up on the hill, you look over the whole of Cairns, out over into the sea, the mountains and whatnot. It's all very lovely. The road, however, is not. Surprise, surprise, yes, the road is not suitable for articulated trucks. Right where the delivery point is, you can't actually get further around because the corner's too tight. There's no turning around points in the immediate area or really anywhere along that road. So it sounds like he's just going to get unloaded out on the road where he is. They can't get in through the gate, and then he's got the incredibly fun task of a half-mile long reverse job back out onto the main road. Nothing like a bit of excitement to get your day going. So I think the general consensus now is that this place that was designated as the unloading area is now no good. We're going to have to find somewhere else, and then the 18 tonners are going to have to do a slightly longer shuttle job than they initially had planned. So this is going to be a very, very slow and painful loading in and loading out exercise. So our 1-2 day loading might be now a 3 or 4. Suspicious people walking around the back of the trailers. Where's she gone? She just gone around the front of that truck. She come off the Flix bus, maybe. Very strange thing to do, to be walking around the backs of trucks. So, not a lot going on apart from a solo unit has turned up and is parked uncomfortably close. But the thing is, the Europeans tend to use palm couplings for their airlines, whereas we on the UK trucks use these sort of plug-in ones. So even if he did back under and hook up to it, he can't actually hook up the airlines to it. So unless there's air in the trailer to use the shunt button, he's not going to go anywhere anyway. So But anyway, there's been an update. Sounds like they have not managed to unload just the one Arctic yet. So all three of us have to go to this place, Exhibit Partner, which I immediately recognise that name because that is the exact same place that I dropped off or transshipped into the little minivans the last time I came down to Cannes. So all three of us are going to go into there. I don't know if the other two guys have been there before, but I have. So I will let them know the good news that if they want to be able to drive out, they're going to have to reverse in. He has arrived! Let's get hooked up back to the trailer and make a plan. Are we staying here tonight, or are we heading over to the secure parking, or are we going to take a gamble? I think, what's the time? Oh, we've got loads of hours left. Yeah, we could make it tonight if we want to. Yes, the plan is get over there because it's guaranteed parking, it's secure. They've had people in their back of their trucks last night. There's talk of diesel thefts as well, so it's just not worth the risk sitting here really. Wait for this guy to reverse in since he's desperately running out of hours, and then I shall crack on. You're moving at such a speed, there wasn't a huge amount need to move over, but thank you anyway. Look at that, all the way out here. There's the Lidl. Down this way then. And then it was the first junction, weren't it, from memory? Third warehouse on the right. One warehouse. Two warehouse. Three warehouse. But I know it's there, because I've been here before. Indicate for the benefit of the car driver. There's a lot more trailers in here than last time. It's definitely going to be a reverse out job. There we go. So this is us for the next week. Excellent. Right, I'll see you in the morning. Morning. I didn't notice last night because it was dark, but then this morning I've just looked at this trailer. Red and white stripes, twin wheels. That style of bumper, lockers, incredibly long. That looks like an American trailer to me. Well, they normally like 53 feet, is it? Versus our 45. Bringing it back a little bit. I think that definitely is. It's got an American number plate and the lights on the back are even American. Just a case of having a look at some point. Anyway, we need to park side by side so that the two rigids that are coming to unload us can, and then it's just a case of sit here and wait all day to get unloaded. That sun is lovely this morning. There we go, in position. Something to do with Bombardier aircraft by the looks of it. That looks suspiciously like a fuselage. From Kansas, and whatever that sticker means, MOT tax, it expired February 2023, so 14 months ago as of recording this. Not a lot going on at the moment. They've taken some of that truck's load, and apparently it was taking about 2.5 hours yesterday to transfer everything. They only had to drive 100 metres up the driveway, so now with us here, it's what, half an hour away, maybe a bit further. So you're looking at about 3-4 hours per load. So my trailer at the minute is about 6 foot further in front than this one, and I'm just comparing where the wheels are in relation to each other. Those are a lot further back on the American trailer. It's already a pain with this one, because when that front lift axle comes up and the pivot point drops back to in between these two wheels, this trailer becomes a bit of a pain to get round some corners as it is. So imagine those wheels coming back even further to here. So there's your pivot point versus that one. So subtract about 6 foot, and we're probably looking about there would be mine. And this trailer's a struggle to get around corners sometimes when the pivot point's back there. So yeah, so that must have been interesting to take out on the roads. Also the shipping stickers, it came on the MV Atlantica C and it left out of Baltimore, which at the minute is not possible to do. Well, it was all going splendid. 2 loads have almost completely emptied the trailer, and then lunch happened. So nothing has happened for about 3 hours now.
Yeah. I mean, it's right. It's
Yeah. Quite late in the evening. I've definitely caught the sun. Feeling a bit warm tonight. But yeah, eventually got everything tipped off the last 2 trucks. So now it's just a case of sitting and waiting, really. Not much more to it. Yeah, I don't know, there's possibly talk about empties coming back, then they'll have to get picked up, but I think the general plan is leave the trailers here because it is secure parking, and then go off and find somewhere to park and call it a weekend, I think. Yeah, even though it's not been a particularly physical or mentally draining day, I think we're all pretty much feeling it, because that sun has been pretty warm and constant, and it still isn't really properly summer yet in the UK, so to suddenly be in lovely, bright, warm sun all day, it's a bit of a shock to the system. Morning! I'm having a bit of a angsty teenage phase today, because yesterday I made like a potato and baked. So I'm suffering the consequences today. Luckily it's the Northern Hemisphere though, not Australia or New Zealand, because this would be after about 15 minutes and not all day. Yeah, there's really not much going on. I'm about to run into town, do some shopping, because supplies are running low. And tomorrow might run to the services, clean myself up, have a shave, have a shower, get ready to chill out for the weekend. I think all we're really doing is just seeing if the guys come back with any empty crates. That's really what's going on today. I was thinking maybe at some point, since we've got everything here, got a UK trailer, we've got European trailers, we've got an American trailer, we could start comparing everything, because they're all slightly different from one another. But other than those two things, or three things, there is not a lot going on here. Off we go then. Leave my trailer behind. Go do some shopping. Talking to the guy that runs this place about that trailer last night, and apparently it was shipped into Dunkirk in the north of France. And they ran it down to Paris Expo, or Paris Air Show, and then down to here after that. Didn't need any special permits or requirements, and they didn't have too much trouble apparently running it down on the motorways. But that is essentially, it's just a mock-up version of a Bombardier business jet. Got a fully made up interior. It's a sales platform basically. This is what the interior looks like. Do you like it? Do you want to buy one? And it just travels from airshow to airshow trying to sell private jets to the rich and famous. Yes, there's the little back there, but it's, I actually prefer this other one. It's bigger, there's more variety. One thing that I do find annoying is that I've got to have my tacho in to drive around here. Even though I'm not actually working for the company or doing any kind of work whatsoever, I'm just running in my own personal time. Yes, there is a mode called out of scope, but they keep changing the rules over the years to the point that they've removed nearly all of the exceptions that it's available for. So unless it's a very, very specific, highly limited thing, like maybe one of 3 scenarios, which almost never happen, you have to have your tacho in. So it would be nice if there was a mode on the tacho that allowed for personal time or personal errands. So like, how are you supposed to run into town to go and do shopping, or go somewhere to have a shower, find a bin to throw rubbish out, etc. In here, and then you can either go right or left. Oh, I'm going to go left, because I don't have a trailer to worry about. In here, and park somewhere along here, hopefully. This will do right here. Oh no, that car's just pulled out from behind me. We'll reverse back there then. Park in front of that. Was that Iveco, is that? Do about there. Cool. Right. Grab me big bag and we'll go shopping. But that is shopping mostly done. There's a couple of bits of fruit and veg they took off me. I assume they have to be like bagged and tagged or something. They do make it difficult some places, but every country is slightly different. It's just trying to keep up with the rules and the way things are done. So I might have a pop round to Lidl, see if they just got the last couple of bits and make it a slightly easier process. Obviously it does help if you speak the lingo, but there are so many in Europe that it's kind of difficult. Bit of a dip there that you just suddenly sink into. Moped cyclist snuck alongside me at the last minute. Playing a dangerous game, and you don't bother. Crazy moped riders in France. There's no point getting arsey and revving your engine. If you can't fit, you can't fit, can you? You just have to wait till the gap gets big enough. Spin it around so I'm facing the right way to get out again tomorrow. Tuck myself in the far end of the yard and chill for the rest of the day. And that will do there, I think. Actually, leave that open. And the other one. Since everyone's out and about and the yard is quiet, let's have a look at these different trailers. So this is a UK one. So you got plug for your red airline and a receiving one just to differentiate it for the yellow one. And you got your electrical line. That one's got a receiving pin on it. And then this one, which has a giving out pin, or male and female as they call it in the industry. That's your ABS lead. They come in two different flavours. This is the one that I've only ever used, the 7-pin. I believe this might be the other one, which is a 15-pin, although it's missing the very one at the top. I've never used that, so I can't guarantee that is the different type of ABS lead, but I have come across two different amounts of pins on the trailers. That second type is quite rare though. So if you look at this one, it's just got the one ABS in the middle. That again, that's a 7-pin. Yeah, so that's more likely what you normally see, just the 5 rather than the 6. And then I've got my leads laid out here on the back of the truck. So there's your red airline. Sometimes that collar's red. In this case it's black, but the bit itself is also red. There's your ABS lead. 7 pins. Plug it in. Lock it on like that. There's your electrical line. That one's got the pin at the top. And then your other electrical line. That one has got the receiving hole at the top. And then the plug for the yellow with the associated yellow bit. So that's how trucks run nowadays. Back in the day, way before my time, like in the 80s, 90s, this one didn't exist. That was a third airline, the blue one. So you have your emergency, that feeds air to the trailer. The yellow one is what activates the brakes, and then the blue one used to be a backup in case the yellow failed. As reliability improved, they got rid of it, so it went down to 4, and then the electrics became more and more complicated. So they then introduced the ABS lead. So as well as controlling the ABS on these trailers, it also controls things like the automatic lift axle. That's what happens, that's what causes that to lift. So when it's in the lifted position, if you were to pull that out, it would disconnect the circuit and then that would drop on its own. It's like a fail-safe feature. The default position is down on the ground. That lead also controls the sensors in here, so that if the trailer detects that weight's getting light on one side and it's about to tip over, it slams the brakes on the trailer, and that sort of creates a torque that rights the trailer back up again. So it's like an anti-tip feature. As I've said in previous videos, these are low deck trailers, so it's 950mm running height versus about 1200 for a UK 1250. I don't know what these are. They're about the same height at the back there. Might be because it's been sat there for so long. No air in the suspension. The American ones look like they run at the same height as the UK one, 1250, whatever that is in inches. So that's more like the height difference you'd see between a low deck and a UK height, or a full height, whatever they want to be called. So on a European one, you get the palm couplings, or whatever they call them in America, I forget now, but the electrics are all the same. Same with pins, one receives, one's got a pin. That's a 7-pin, what's it? So yeah, apart from the palm couplings, it's all the same electrics wise. And two other biggest differences: UK and European stuff runs on 24 volts versus 12 volts for America. And the Kingpin, because we have close coupling trailers to make the aerodynamics better, the Kingpin is located quite a long way back. Then standard length trailer, UK and Europe, 45 feet, 13.5 metres. I know in the UK we can now run 15.5 metre trailers. Don't know what that is in feet, I'll look that up in a moment. American trailers, much more simpler. Similar sort of airlines, the old palm couplings, but just one electrical line with a pin at the top. Much more simpler electrics. I assume they light up. And then down the side, just the one light in the middle, versus European ones, lights every few feet. And then at the back it's also quite simple. Just one set of lights that do everything. They're your side lights at night, they're your brake lights, they're your indicators. No reversing, no fog. Unlike the European ones, there you have everything. Fog light, reverse light, that'll be your side lights at night, brake, indicator, and then extra reversing lights to see what you're doing in dark alleyways. Then there's the obvious extra length, 53 feet, probably pushing towards 16 and a bit metres. Kingpin, incredibly shallow, so there's all that wasted space where not much is going on. Similar to a container trailer in the UK, a 40-foot one, because you'd have all this front bit missing and the Kingpin would be back here instead. I believe also axles are grouped together when it comes to weights, they're never done separately, so these two would be just one weight as a whole, something like 18 or 20,000 pounds possibly. This is getting into technical stuff, you'll have to ask an American truck driver, or I know some of you watch, you can let us know in the comments or something. But yeah, that would always come together as a group. There are tridems that would come together. I do know you get the ones that they have to be a good distance apart, like 10 feet is it? Spread axle trailer, because then they count as individual axles, which then have their own individual weight. Unlike European trucks, which always have individual weights. So it would be 7.1 tons, 11.5, 8, 8 and 8. Then if it was a 6x2, it would be 7.1, 11.5. If it was a 6x4 or a dual wheel, potentially 2 11.5s, which is certainly useful for heavy haulage. The only time we come to grouping axles together is on the tractor unit, so 2 axles is 18 tons and then 5 overall is 40, and that's metric tons, not US tons. So was it 80,000 pounds in America, whereas here on 5 axles we can do 88,000. Then UK on 6 axles is 44 tons, which is about 96,800. And then other parts of Europe they have even higher weights and crazier stuff, like Scandinavia is the prime example. Over here, put my 4x2 unit on, twin axle trailer, that could run at the American maximum weight of 80,000 pounds, 36 tons metric. That's the standard. Nearly everything you see out in the US is the twin axle, tandem as they call them. I've seen singles, I've seen tridems, so they do get them out there. They're just not as common because that's not the standard format like it is here. Same with us, we get singles, twins, triples. But the standard for us is a triple, and then 4x2 out in Europe, 6x2 on the UK and Ireland, and up in Scandinavia. Holland and Belgium, I think, as well, run 6x2s. 6x4s, that's really only off-road stuff or heavy haulage, because you just need the extra grip. Again, fuel is a lot more expensive over here, so we need to be as efficient as possible. So the extra weight, complexity and resistance in the drivetrain, it's just not worth having a 6x4, so you go for a 6x2 instead. Something else that I think is pretty standard in the US is that your axles are not physically attached to the trailer, they're held in place by pins. So you remove the pins, put the parking brake on, and then you can slide the axles or the bogie back and forth an amount on the trailer, which helps balance the weight between the front and the back. That's not really a thing here. Our axles are always fixed, so it's just a case of managing the weight on the trailer. If it is a really heavy load, you'll usually run out of weight before you run out of space, so you just position the pallets around to balance the weight. Separate them out. There's palm coupling adapters, and these go both ways, so put them on that end and I can hook my one onto a European trailer, switch them round, plug them on that way, and the European guys can pull a UK trailer. There you go, just for hilarity, that's what a European truck would look like with an American trailer on the back of it. Height wise, yeah, it looks pretty much the exact same as a UK trailer. Yeah. Bit of a gap there. Yeah, very shallow kingpin on the American trailer, so it leaves quite a bit of a gap behind the cab, unfortunately, so it would be very unaerodynamic. Also, 15-metre trailer in the UK is about just shy of 51 feet, and these are 53. Obviously, the axles are in a slightly different position. Morning, afternoon, whichever it is, whenever it is, I don't know. I film stuff out of order now. There's not a lot going on. Washing down because it's raining. Can't apply any graphics in the rain. And once again, we're off. It also gives us a chance to take the truck out, give it a decent run, get the batteries charged up again. I would say give the DPF a clear out, but since I've got no trailer on, there's no weight and therefore no load on the engine, so the DPF's actually going to get more and more clogged. Driving up and down the road like this way towards Nice, a little hop, skip and jump on the motorway, back to the services where we were the other day, but this side, not the other side where we actually ended up parking, because there's more space this side apparently. It's a struggle to get going when you ain't got no weight on the back. There's no grip from the wheels. Weather today, quite atrocious. Not different from the last couple of days of sunshine. Seems the Riviera is getting its 100-odd days of sunshine, rain, off and out the way as quickly as possible. Parking for trucks. Let's go around here first. Now I can have my shower first and then fill up, rather than fill up, park, and then go for a shower and run the risk of coming back and finding that all my diesel has disappeared. Park full just enough so that my nose is sticking out, people can see the space is taken. Lights off. Windscreen wipers off. You off. Grab my bag. Don't need to worry about brake since I've only just set off. And I'm only going to be a few hours anyway. Boosh. Engine off. Job done. There's everything sorted. Fuel got showered hard. We are sorted for the next couple of days, pretty much. Sort my truck out and we'll get going. Same as the other day, spin round at the next junction and then head on back round into the yard. Try and get up to speed if we can. That wheel spinning everywhere. Oh, what's happened there? Something. A lane's closed and there's a huge amount of traffic now. Got lucky there then. Turn off the motorway and then make our way back around town. Truck handles quite a lot differently when you're solo, because I'm never normally driving any significant amount of distance. In this configuration it throws you off a bit. The braking's not quite as good. It doesn't feel quite as stable in the corners. Traction is a lot more difficult because there's no weight on the back. And that's both in accelerating and using the engine brake. Liddles is having a delivery. A little tiny trailer. Going into the yard. I was expecting the truck to get quite dirty being on the roads in the rain, but having looked at the fuel tanks when I got out to refuel, it's actually blasted off most of the dirt. And who's put that trailer there? That's my parking spot. Where'd I park now? Can't park in front of it because that's where the door is. About there will do. Where did this trailer come from? How am I ever supposed to get to my trailer with that there? We could call it a day there. 10 more minutes and then clock off.